What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Now today we are going to be doing a special challenge inside of Clash Royale where I can only make a deck using cards that come with multiple troops. So I can't use the knight because there's only one knight. I can't use the bomber because there's only one bomber. However, I can use the barbarians because there are two of them, 3 musketeers of course because there are 3 of them, multiple skeletons, multiple archers, and multiple minions. And I am using the golem because he does split into 2 golemites, so there are 2 golemites after he explodes. That is a pair of troops right there, more than one, so we can go ahead and use the golem in this deck too. I do have 2 spells in here, the fireball and the log. If things get a little bit too easy for us, I might go ahead and take out the spells in general and throw in some more multiple troops right there. And we'll see how this goes. We are going to be going into a classic challenge right now. I don't have too many gems to be wasting in grand challenges, and I'm about to hit 5,000 trophies. Hopefully, I'm about to hit 5,000 trophies. I'm currently recording this on Sunday, even though this might go up on Monday or Tuesday. Who knows yet? But right before the trophy reset, I have just a few more hours to hit 5,000 trophies. I really hope I can do it, but who knows? I might end up choking this. Is this my personal best right now? It's not. My personal best is 49.32, but we are only a few battles away from 5K, so I don't want to risk anything out there in some ladder matches with a crazy deck. So because of that, we are going to be going into a classic challenge instead and seeing how well this deck can do out here in some battles. Like I said, if it's just way too easy and we start running all over some people, we'll go ahead and take out the spells and replace it with some other cards. That will, of course, fit the challenge, and I don't actually have a name for this challenge yet. I don't think I've seen it anywhere on YouTube, but who knows? It's probably out there somewhere. If you guys have a name for this challenge, let me know down in the comment section below. I will go ahead and leave a comment on my favorite challenge name, so let me know you guys' challenge names down in the comment section below, because I don't have one for this deck yet. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the very first battle, see who we pair up against, and see what deck he's using. I don't know if he's expecting our golem deck. I haven't really played around in classic challenges too much, so I don't really know what people use in here. But I do have a golem in my starting hand, as well as the 3 musketeers. I don't think I want to drop down the golem yet, so down go the 3 musketeers, of course splitting them up into opposite lanes, because that is the best way to play them. I have 1 going down the left lane and 2 going down the right lane, but he has a cannon in the middle. Let's drop down some archers in front of the 1 musketeer over on the left. He's dropping down some fire spears to counter the ones on my right, and a skeleton army to take all of them out. He will tornado my other troops towards the middle, towards that cannon. However, 1 musketeer does get a few shots off on that left lane tower, and now we can drop down a skeleton army to counter these goblins right here, and hopefully they'll go over and take out the spear goblins as well. Let's drop down our elite barbarians in front of the skeleton army and see if we can get a decent push over here. He does have those fire spirits already back in cycle, but he doesn't have his tornado yet. Down goes a skeleton army, but it was a little bit too late. My elite barbs do end up dropping that tower all the way below 1,000 hit points, and now the skeletons might actually take it out. The skeleton army does in fact take out the tower with that one last skeleton right there. Let's get our log ready for this goblin barrel. Will he drop down some spear goblins as well? Not yet this push, and but there they are, so the minions will go ahead and finish those off. I'm not sure if I needed to do that. He's not doing too much damage to our tower, but of course it's nice to save it as much as possible. And this guy hasn't even seen our golem yet, and I haven't used the fireball either. I'm just going to go ahead and let those fire spirits hit my tower, even though that might hurt just a little bit. They are going to drop it down to 1,400 hit points. But now we have a full health golem coming down this guy's left lane tower for the 3 crown. Can we get to the king tower is the question. Let's drop down some archers to counter the skeleton army. Ice spear back there as well. Not too worried about it, but I will drop down a skeleton army to counter the goblin barrel. Now he has a cannon to take out my golem. Let's go ahead and drop down some elite barbs right here. I thought about saving for 3 musketeers, however I could use some barbarians right now. My golem is actually going to go ahead and run towards that right lane tower. Skeleton army of course will get taken out as soon as that golem blows up, so bye bye skeletons right there. And now let's save up for our 3 musketeers. I think this guy might have given up already. I can't see him actually defending this push. He's trying to push my left lane tower to get at least 1 crown in this battle, but we've already taken out his king tower for the 3 crown victory. Good game to Rumbox D from 300s. That was actually a pretty impressive battle with this deck. Maybe it's because he was using these kind of like a bait cycle deck, and golem decks usually run all over that. So I will go back out here into one last battle before I start changing the deck around and see what else we can do with some different cards. This deck is working pretty well so far, as we just saw, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with it for at least one more battle, see what happens next before we start changing up the deck. So up against Ruben from Arg Destiny, we also have, I think, the same exact starting hand as last battle, but we also have a little bit of lag coming in here. Come on, please don't give me the Wi-Fi bars. What are you doing? Oh, this might be a loss. I don't know when I'm going to get my connection back. Come on, please don't do this to me. I don't want to lag. I just want to drop down my golem. That's all I want. And we're still sitting at 6 elixir though, so I think this is a fail. This is definitely a 3 crown for this guy. Man, this sucks. Alright, well, at least we're in a classic challenge. We're not really risking too much, and a loss isn't too big of a deal, but we're still lagging, so I have no idea what's going on. I'll be back with you guys in just a second whenever this, I don't know, whenever it fixes. Alright, reloading the game to see what this does. Did that actually count as a battle is my question. So we're done in the battle right there. Did we lose? And no, I guess it didn't count as a battle at all. Not even in our attack log right now, so that was kind of weird. Not sure what happened there, but I guess I'll take it. Not a loss for us. Still 1-0 in this classic challenge. Alright, so here's our opponent, Nawaf896. Let's hope we don't lag out of this one. And we do have our golem in our starting hand again, so that is nice to see. Let's just go ahead and start things off by dropping him down the right lane, behind my king tower, of course, to give me time to build up elixir and start a huge push. He will go ahead and drop down a level 7 hog coming down my left lane. Minions should do the trick in taking him out. He won't do too much damage to our tower, but he does about 500, dropping it down to 2006. However, I now have my full health golem at the bridge with some archers in behind and enough elixir for a fireball if I need it, which I might just do depending on what else he drops. And let's go ahead and fireball all of this right here and should I drop down a log? I'm actually going to save off on the log, but there are some guards, so probably worth it to hit all of those, finish off the ice wizard, and probably finish off the elite barbarians as well. Golemize on the tower doing heavy damage, dropping it down to 1500 hit points. Skeleton army on the hog. Hopefully he doesn't have a zap to take it out, but they will go ahead and finish off the hog so quickly. He only got off one shot right there, and now our tower is at 1742. Alright, so we're not looking too bad right now. Let's drop down our golem. I don't want him to know that we have 3 musketeers just yet. I haven't seen a fireball, but I'm not too sure if he still might have one, because there hasn't really been much to fireball, and he's probably just saving it for whenever he needs it. He hasn't seen my elite barbarians either, so I guess I can just go ahead. I'm just going to drop down my 3 musketeers behind the golem right here. Let's hope that was a good idea. I'm not too sure about that move right there. If he has a fireball, we're completely screwed, but he has better than a fireball. He has a rocket, which does completely take them out, but he missed 1 musketeer. The golem is on the tower. The musketeer is taking out these guards, and she is on the bridge, so the tower can't retarget her when she takes out the golem. And now she's going to walk up here, distracted by the ice wizard right there for a second, but as soon as she takes him out, she can go ahead and lock onto the tower to, of course, finish it off for that 1 crown lead. At the same time, I sent in some elite barbarians going down that left lane. He will distract them with that ice golem, but they almost make it to that tower. He's going to have to use a defensive hog rider, which is now going to get taken out by my minions. Golem in the middle, so both of the targets lock onto him. So, of course, my archers and my minions can do some damage, but he will go ahead and arrow my minions. Let's go ahead and fireball these elite barbs right here. That one that's getting shot by the archers will go ahead and get taken out. Golem on the tower doing so much damage. That is why I love the golem right there. Not only does he have so much death damage, he also has a bunch of attack damage. That was another fail rocket by this guy, only hitting 1 of my musketeers. Elite barbs to finish off the tower and the musketeer. Minions, skeleton army, we got everything going towards this guy king tower. All we need is a few more seconds. We would have got another 3 crown, but nonetheless, there is a 2 crown victory with this pretty awesome deck. Alright, so that was just way too easy. We are running all over these people. So let's switch things up a bit. I think I'm going to go out here into a battle with no spells whatsoever. But the whole point of this challenge is to use cards that come in pairs or at least multiple. More than one is what we are looking for. No legend. I guess you could kind of count the Lava Hound or the Graveyard, but I don't want to use those. So let's go ahead and let's use Goblin Barrel could be interesting. Guards could be interesting. Let's just throw in Barbarians and a minion horde. That's going to make this deck extremely heavy, so this is definitely going to be a challenge. Pretty crazy deck right here, but it might actually work. So let's go out and see what happens in our 3rd battle of the video. Mashing up against Korish from Rainbow 17. Another level 9, of course, because we are in tournament standards. And I have my golem in my starting hand. That's where I like to see, dropping him off behind my king tower to start things off. And this guy is running a bowler deck. We have to keep in mind that I don't have any spells whatsoever, so this could be pretty interesting. I'll most likely be taking out this bowler with my minion horde, since he will just wreck my skeleton army, archers, and barbarians. But he has an executioner as well. Why would you run a bowler and executioner? Do you really need all that splash damage? Archers will go ahead and do some damage to that bowler, but not before he drops down the tornado, finishing them off, of course, with the bowler and that executioner. And down comes an electro wizard, so this is not going to be fun at all. Splitting up my 3 musketeers in the back. Let's hope they don't get taken out really quickly over here. And there's a fireball. This is not going to be good. Can I take out all these troops with a barbarian group? Come on, do the trick, please. Alright, they will split up perfectly and finish off all those troops right there. That was actually a pretty solid counter, while my musketeer is focused on that left lane tower, dropping it all the way down to 1654 hit points. Can the barbs do any damage over there on the right? They are going to get taken out. And now I'm sitting on 6 elixirs, so I can drop anything I want. Down goes an elixir collector in the middle of his tower, so I will send some elite barbarians, hoping that he isn't ready or doesn't have any elixir to counter this push. However, he does have enough elixir for a bowler, which will knock around my elite barbs a little bit, only allowing them to drop the tower down to 384 hit points. I don't want to waste my minion horde on this bowler because I know he has an executioner, and he also has a battle ram and a graveyard. What a wacky deck. Alright, so minions and archers are working on the barbarians and the bowler, and of course the minions just shred that graveyard. He had a tornado down for whatever reason, didn't help him out whatsoever. He barely even touched that left lane tower. His tower is currently sitting at 300 hit points. Can the archers do any damage? And they are going to go ahead and drop it down to 42. So if we had a spell, we could definitely take that out if we wanted to, but I'm going to risk it and push the right lane. I do have to keep in mind that no matter what, I don't have any spells to finish off that left lane tower. I'll most likely have to send a golem at it, worst case scenario. And I know he has a fireball, so let's go ahead and split up our 3 musketeers, sending 2 of them behind our golem. He'll most likely fireball the tower with the musketeers, but he's not going to do that. He'll most likely actually just yeah, there's a tornado. I was expecting that, and there is a fireball to finish them off. Minion horde probably wasn't the best idea to go up against a executioner and electro wizard. Let's drop down some elite bards and see if they can do the trick. Come on, get in there and do some damage. This guy's deck is really defensive, actually. He's doing a pretty good job at countering all of our stuff, and that battle ram will most likely get a shot off on our tower, and he has a bowler back there, but luckily for us, the minions finished off his left lane tower. I don't have to worry about that too much, but now he just took out our right lane tower, and I'm kind of getting scared. So down goes a minion horde as soon as the executioner locks onto the tower, so they don't do any damage to the actual minions. Elite barbs in the middle as the minion horde approaches. They're most likely going to get taken out by that executioner. Some minions will do some damage to the tower, but not before they get taken out. And that bowler does finish off the rest of those troops right there. Honestly, the only way to get to this guy's tower is dropping down a golem, and that is going to be this is going to be hard to defend. He's got a battle ram and a graveyard. Let's drop down a skeleton army as soon as that tornado runs out to keep these skeletons off of my tower. He does finish them all off with a fireball, even though the executioner would have done the trick. Let's drop down our archers and save up for our 3 musketeers since he did just waste a fireball. So 3 musketeers on the bowler. I don't think he has a tornado, but down goes the executioner, which might do a little bit of damage to them. Barbs right here to take out the executioner, or at least distract him. 3 musketeers, golemites, and barbarians on the tower. He has no chance in defending this. Down it goes for the 2-crown victory. A minute into overtime. Kind of a long battle, but definitely worth it because we did take the W. And this challenge is so easy and honestly a lot of fun. So if you guys want to go ahead and try it out, the whole idea is to pick troops that come in multiple or at least pairs. Don't pick any troops that come in like a single unit like the knight or the bomber like I was saying earlier. Pick troops that come in groups like the elite barbarians, minion horde, skeleton army. You guys know the deal. You just watched an entire video about it. I am going to include the golem, and I honestly think you could include the lava hound as well, since they do explode into multiple lava pups and multiple golemites. Anyway, that was the battle. We won with a 5.3 deck, which honestly to me is pretty impressive, especially considering his deck had a lot of splash damage like the electro wizard, bowler, tornado, fireball, and executioner. Was kind of worried about that battle, but we did end up coming out on top. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button down below. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click on the first link in the description below to buy a t-shirt from my merch shop. The campaign will end in a few days, so you just have a few days left to buy some Drew Lewis merch. Get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a sweatshirt, and if you do end up buying something, let me know on Twitter so I can follow you back and give you a shout out. Anyway, that's going to go ahead and wrap things up for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.